This year marks 800 years of the Dominican order. The Dominican charism lives on in all of us who share Dominique's vision to live the truth. We have been gifted with an extraordinary history by Dominique and the many holy Dominicans who have walked before us over 800 years. Today's Dominican students are encouraged to learn, grow and respond to our time and place. In doing so, we continue this story, faithful to Dominique's mission to be people who seek to live the truth.
Dominique was born in 1173 in a little village called Caravaca in Spain. Dominique's mum was named Jan and his dad was called Felix. He had two brothers called Antonio and maids. His family helped poor people around the village.
Dominique's uncle was a priest and he taught Dominique to read and write in Spanish and Latin. When Dominique was 16 years old, he went to university in Spain and learned about God and Jesus. Then he decided to become a priest.
Dominique and Bishop Diego set up a mission station at Fanjeaux in the south of France to teach people about Jesus. By 1206, a gospel family had gathered around Dominique.
By 1216, Dominique and his community were recognised by the church as the Order of Preachers. They were given the special task to take the gospel, the good news, to the people. The Pope gave them the ancient church of Santa Sabina in Rome as their new headquarters in 1221, the year Dominique died. He would be declared a saint in 1234. Eventually, Dominicans chose Veritas, truth, as the motto of the Order of Preachers. From the beginning, Dominique challenged his companions to be constant truth seekers who preached with their lives as well as their words. Their preaching was supported by 4 pillars: prayer, community, study, and service.
After Dominique died, many caught the fire of his vision, and over 800 years committed men and women have carried the gospel message far and wide. In 1644, the sisters set up a convent in Galway. Because times were tough, they moved to Dublin, where things were a little easier. They had a secret school and were determined to be good Dominicans, despite the fact it was illegal. At last, in 1829, they were allowed to practice their faith in public. They brought up a very successful school for girls called Cabra.
In 1847, they began another school at Dunleary in Dublin. By 1867, they were ready to answer a call by Bishop Murray to come to Maitland, New South Wales, to preach the gospel to people who would otherwise not hear it. 8 women took a great risk and set out for unknown lands on the other side of the world. Cardinal Moran asked them to establish Santa Sabina College in Strathfield. 6 sisters arrived on January 9, 1894. They set up a convent and school in temporary quarters in what they called Rosary Lodge. The first 6-day students and 3 boarders formed the humble beginnings of what would become our great school.
The Dominican sisters who founded Santa Sabina College and all of those who partnered with them and continue to partner with the sisters have endeavoured to keep alive the Dominican motto of truth, sought in contemplation and lived out in action. Despite changing contexts, Santa Sabina has always had a particular commitment to education for justice, scholarly inquiry, right relationships and personal excellence. What draws us together as a community are the many stories of the Dominican order, which begin with the story of Dominique de Guzman in the 1200s, and it is up to us to ensure that the story continues as an enlivening, inspiring one. Dominican theologian Edward Schillebeck wrote that a golden thread runs through the Dominican family story from Dominique down to the present day. Provided that this golden thread is woven into our life story, however different it may be in content, we have in fact realised Dominican spirituality, and it is spirituality to the degree that is realised in practice. Today we celebrate a rich and diverse Santa Sabina community that extends beyond the boulevard of Strathfield and indeed beyond our national borders. Our current and past parents, staff and students are blessed to be part of the ongoing Dominican story and indeed to add additional chapters.
This year, across the world, we celebrate 800 years of Dominican Jubilee. That is, 800 years since Dominic founded the order back in 1216. So it's a time for giving thanks, for rejoicing, for celebrating, and also for remembering the rich heritage that we carry for the Dominicans across the world. Dominic always encouraged his followers to respond with courage, with hope, and with faithfulness. So along with our colleagues, our parents, our students, our entire Dominican family and this school community, we look forward to taking up the continuing challenges that face us into the future and to respond to those with a sense of hope and of trust and confidence in God's loving mercy.